Our group is called Intreccio Creativo. We are 5 artists and crafters based in Florence and with Florence in the countryside. Each of us works with a different material. So we've taken forward our idea and to integrate all our different work to make one piece, which is going to be a table setting based on Casa Guidi, which was the home of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, the famous English poet. She lived in Florence and in Casa Guidi for 16 years with her husband, who was also a poet, called Robert Browning. Jane is making very small chopping boards from a beautiful coloured wood decorated with the iris of Florence, the symbol of Firenze, and also making napkin holders based on the unification of Italy, England, Elizabeth, Robert, and the world that they were living in. One of her very famous poems, actually called Casa Guidi Windows. Poem of 2 parts, the house of 2 parts, her and her husband, this unification of Italy and of England, and this 2 parts which hopefully will come together in our table setting, in our piece. There are lots of pieces of coming together, of rapports between 2 different things. Ayaku, who works with textiles, is going to make a beautiful tablecloth from a linen, a very nice neutral coloured linen, and she's going to design and paint words of Elizabeth to decorate that, and also making some napkins in the red that comes also from the house Casa Guidi. I'll be making ceramic vases and coming together, 2 vases that become one, decorated with the beautiful flowers from Stefania, who's also part of our group Intreccio Creativo. I'm also making plates, which will be glazed in the same green that decorate the walls of the living room of Casa Guidi. Probably I'm going to write something on the plates as well based on her poetry. I'm also making small clay bowls from grès, from stoneware clay, with little birds on them. The inspiration coming from a decorative panel above the bed in their bedroom. Elizabeth was very much a backer of the unification of Italy, so she decorated her room in these 3 colours. Rather than going for the very bright colours of the Italian flag, we've chosen more sombre versions with an ivory, cream, off-white, sage green and a very rusty red colour. And Ilaria is making a table runner to run on the middle of the table. Again, a swirling energy, pattern of energy to interact and intertwine, again based on the love of these 2 people and the love they had for Italy coming from Great Britain.
I often work combining images with text, and in this case, having decided to do the grippina, the fainting couch from Casa Guidi. Story goes that when she first met her husband, who was then a suitor, Elizabeth, who was ill, met him stretched out on this couch during one of their first meetings. This couch was brought with them when they moved to Italy. I decided to reproduce that as a woodblock print and include with it part of the image, the text from one of her sonnets, Sonnet 14. My woodblock prints are done using the technique of mokuhanga, which is Japanese for woodblock prints. It's a water-based method, unlike Western woodblock printing. In mokuhanga, I use a separate woodblock for each color, and these blocks are carved to reproduce the image.
Villa del Poggio d'Imperiale, I like it especially because I found out we have 3 centuries of history and it's all a female history, because since Isabella de' Medici we have all women that they lived in there and change and make it more precious. I decided to use an architectural part of the building like inspiration for my jewelry, and especially I use the facade part, so the main entrance, and I use it for a pendant. A pendant that can be a brooch, because if you take it off from the chain, can have this double use. And from the facade, I use windows, the arch part on the top and the rectangular part down, just to create a ring and a pair of earrings. I decided to use all precious materials, so you can find 18 carats gold, sterling silver and diamonds.
I took my inspiration from Villa La Petraia. There is a beautiful cortile full of Baroque frescoes. What I love in the Baroque style is the organic shapes from nature. For this collection, the idea was to make a necklace covering the neck, the most vulnerable part of the body, to transmit a sense of protection, because since I'm a woman, I feel the need of protection, and I think I share the same sentiment with the other women that used to live in Villa Petraia. I kept my style for this collection. I love to work with white gold and diamonds, but I stand for sustainable lab-grown diamonds and recyclable gold.